I guess if I had to sort of summarize it I'm going to summarize it as truth speaking and showing up in your truth, the pieces that you're describing now, listening to the inner voice, coming forward, empowering yourself, and doing a lot of let's say, the indoctrined programs and that we see. Do you find yourself, would you say that in your journey of truth speaking, of showing up in your truth, is this where you feel now more comfortable than uncomfortable? Or is this, is it a comfortable space for you? Because often it can lead to uncertainty, you kind of feel that you could be judged and etc. So just share a little bit about that.
Yeah. I've become comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I'm aware of not everything that I believe or that I say would be welcomed by others.
Mm,
And that has more to do with them than it has to do with me. So
lovely.
maybe I'm not at a place where I'm spiritually or, mature enough to hear your message. That's got
Mm,
nothing to do with you. You're speaking
mm,
your truth and you're putting your authenticity out there, and good for you. If I'm not
mm,
ready to receive that, that's my problem. So I am comfortable with having the uncomfortable conversations. I'm comfortable with speaking 100% of the truth, addressing things as we see them, but always remaining respectful and
mm,
respecting the opinions, beliefs, and feelings of others around you. It's not about becoming opinionated and, you know, trying to put down others' belief systems or how others see the world. It's merely being prepared to be honest about how I see the world and who I am, and not trying to conform to society in order to fit in. Um, so I think I have become comfortable with saying it like it is. um, I don't think that, I remember one time a manager, I'm going to mention her name because I've got so much respect for this lady. Her name
mm,
was Faith Manyoro. She was my portfolio manager at ABSA when I was working. She called me aside and was like, Sam, you have no tact. I was like, what's tact? I don't even know what you're talking about. I was much younger, but those words stayed with me, and just the way Faith was so polite about it. And I realized that being honest and saying things as they are was always something inside of me, but now I've learned how to say things and still remain honest and authentic without offending others, and being respectful and aware of the next person's feelings and situation. So I think for me, I am, I'm in a comfortable space. Yeah, if that directly answers the question, I am in a comfortable space, but I hope it's not a comfort zone. I don't want it to become it. I don't want it to become a comfort zone, or maybe it could. I don't know. Yeah, it's but I'm happy that I'm here, if I could put it that way. I used to feel so much pressure, and I'm sure you could relate. I used to feel so much pressure to speak. I would just sit quiet with 500 voices going through my head and words wanting to just come out of my mouth, but I would just sit like and nod. And now I feel okay to actually say it, and to say the right thing, even if it offends somebody who doesn't, agree with it, as long as I have taken stock of, are my intentions pure? Are my intentions good? Was I intending to hurt or offend anyone? And if my conscience is clear about it, I'm okay with it. There's lots of, I think lots of us have to do a lot of spiritual growth in life. There's career growth, involuntarily we grow in years, but spiritual growth and maturity is a decision that we make, and it's not an easy one.
mm.
So
Certainly following that voice and following that journey takes you into places to evolve, you're right. You got to stretch into
yeah.
who you are. So Yeah, so be ready for the
Which
stretch,
I'm sure
and
you relate to
yeah,
as somebody who
definitely.
does a lot of meditation. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's like stretch. Next version, I call it meet the new you. Are you ready to meet the new you? So,
Awesome.
that's definitely,
Beautiful. That is so exciting. And it's
uh,
weird that these are the things I find more exciting these days.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's the more I can uncover about myself, my abilities and what I can do out there in the world, it means more than anything else. There was a time when, you know, I would get an increase and I bought something cool and I would be like, wow, look at what I have. Now the journey is more about, wow, look at what I could be. And that's what I
mm,
work towards more than saying, I have this. I'd prefer to say, I have become better in
powerful.
this way. Yeah. And it requires less bragging, less marketing of myself to say, I've got this and I've bought this and I've done that. I feel like, when we're younger and we're growing, we don't know these things. We feel like our possessions are testament to achievement. You measure
Mm,
your achievement by things that you have, and it's okay. It's part of growing. You have
mm,
to do that to learn that it's not supposed to be that way. I've also learned that we have to be easy with ourselves and forgive ourselves for our journey that we've been on. It's the
mm,
best that we could have done. And when you get to a point of awareness of what's worked and what hasn't worked, and you still choose to do what hasn't really worked, it's kind of on you.
yeah,
you
yeah.
you have
Full
that choice.
accountability, correct.
Yeah,
And then that's what you were alluding to in terms of taking ownership and being fully accountable at the end of the day for your becoming journey. Like no one can do it for you, and I
yeah.
think that's valuable. So Sam, I could go on this topic for hours, but I won't.